Hey, what's up you guys? You're watching Team APS, Paul here, and in today's video, I'm going to tell what I think are the top 5 Link monsters of 2017. So we got Link monsters this year, and they've finally started to find their place in the game, and I think that some monsters have been kind of seen as more staples, others are just kind of more support cards, and there's still new ones coming out, so this is obviously going to change a lot moving into next year, but I thought I would share what I think personally are the top 5. So coming in at number 5, we've got Proxy Dragon, a card that is literally just the most generic thing. It just takes 2 monsters. This came out of the Mega Tins, and it's useful because unlike Ib, it was a lot easier to summon, and the best part about it is that it actually does provide a pretty strong protective effect, and it has the left and right link arrows, so obviously people would have preferred that to be like the Mrs. Radiant arrows, but still it's really good to make like right underneath the link spider, and you can actually use it to take spots out of your extra deck, so you don't have to run like 3 link spiders. You could just run like a link spider and a Proxy Dragon, and then make those both into something like a Decode Talker. So I think that Proxy Dragon has definitely found its place in the game, but only at number 5 on this list. Coming at number 4, we've got Mrs. Radiant. It's actually one of the first Link monsters that came out and coded the Duelist, and obviously, some people really didn't like the card because it required 2 Earth monsters, and that meant that if you weren't running an Earth deck or an Earth engine, that you couldn't actually use Mrs. Radiant very easily. But for what it's worth, Mrs. Radiant herself is a very good card. She's got the optimal Link 2 arrows, the diagonally downs. And now that Miss Starboy's out, I didn't want to really include them on the list, but we could just say they're both in here. That makes another easy to make Link monster that a lot of different decks can use. And it boosts your monsters with that attribute. Not generally useful, but you never know, it can come in handy. And it does float when it dies, so that's also very handy too. So yeah, number 4, Mrs. Radiant, and sure, why not, Miss Starboy too. Number 3 is Borla Dragon, and this might be a bit of a surprise because I feel like Borla Dragon really isn't exactly like, it's generic, but not that many decks use it. But I still like Borla Dragon a lot, mainly because it is, it kind of reminds me of what a boss monster should be. Firewall Dragon is more of like a combo extender, but this is one of those Link 4s that feels worth it just because it protects itself from monster effects, and it also can, change monsters' attack and defense, which means it can be used in the damage step, and that's really cool. It's supposed to be Rocket's Link monster, but really they can't use it all that well, and I've seen, obviously, decks like Spirals and other things like making better use of this card. But it is cool, people can't respond to its effect, and I think that alone makes it actually pretty valuable. Number 2 is Firewall Dragon, a card that I personally think will probably find its way in the ban list soon, but that's neither here nor there. Firewall Dragon is extremely useful. It's actually probably the best Link 4 monster, easily, and probably will be for a long time. It's easy to make, besides taking the 4 monsters, it doesn't really have any other special requirements, and both of its effects are really powerful. The bouncing effect can be used both for like combo extension to get stuff back from your grave, and as disruption on your opponent's turn, and the more things you have linked to it, the better it gets. But the more important effect is actually the special summoning monster from your hand, and that's so handy because it doesn't have a hard once per turn clause at all. So anytime that you make Firewall and make monsters in its zones it points to, and then you link with those, or you synchro with those, or whatever happens to those, you can start summoning things back from your hand. This makes it extremely good. It's been the cause of a lot of different OTKs and FTKs, and as much as people want an errata, that's probably not going to happen, so we're just going to have to live with it. It's expensive for a reason. I think it's a good monster though, so yeah, number 2. And card number 1 is Decode Talker, a card that actually came out in the Link Strike starter deck, and most people might be surprised to hear this, but I put Decode Talker at number 1 mainly because it's the Link monster that every single deck right now uses. Even if you don't want to use it, even if you don't think it's good, you have to use it because it's easy for getting rid of things in your extra monster zone. Like if you've used up a monster and you need to make a link or clear up some space on the board, it's there for that. Light Orange use it. Pendulum Magicians, you even have one in their extra deck most of the time. It's just a really handy one, and its effect actually isn't that bad. Being able to negate targeting effects is cool. Being able to get up to like 28, 33, or even 3800 attack is cool. And being Link 3 is a lot easier to make than most of the Link 4s, so it's also got decent arrows. So yeah, number 1, definitely Decode Talker. So those are the, in my opinion, top 5 Link monsters of 2017. There are obviously a lot of runner-ups. Akashic Magician is pretty good, but it hasn't seen a whole lot of mainstream play. Spiral Double Helix is good, but it only works for one archetype, so I didn't include that. And then Link Freebo just came out, but not even many people actually have theirs yet, so we'll see more of what that does in 2018, I think. But yeah, what do you guys think? What have been your favorite Link monsters so far? How have you liked Link monsters so far? I kind of want to do another video maybe in January, just revisiting Link monsters like 6 months later after we've had a little bit more time with them. So far, I don't think they're the worst thing in the world, and clearly they are seeing play. So yeah, hope you guys liked the video. Remember, thumbs if you like it, subs if you loved it, follow me on social media, and be sure to subscribe for more Yu-Gi-Oh videos. I'll see you guys in the next one.